In today's yoga class, we're going to heat things up with Kapalabhati or fire's breath, and then we're going to slow things down with a nice deep stretching yin. Just coming to the top of your mat, standing comfortably. Maybe closing your eyes for the first couple of breaths. Letting your whole self begin to relax and tune into your practice. And today we're going to be using our breath to warm our body, and this is a great cleansing breath called Kapalabhati or fire's breath. So if you know the breath, feel free to join me right away on the first round. If you're unsure, watching for the first go round, and then you'll have lots of opportunity to try it with me. So standing with your arms relaxed, your hands at your heart, or it might be helpful for you to put one or two hands on your belly. And what you're looking for here is a really forceful exhalation. So you're going to focus on breathing out, trying to keep the mouth closed, so breathing only through your nose if possible, but this can be done through the mouth as well. And you'll notice that this breath, as we really force the exhalation, it causes a pumping action through our tummy and through our diaphragm, so it's really exercising our breathing muscles. So taking a big deep breath in, and then I quickly exhale through my nose. Perfect. All right, we're gonna all try it together. Taking a nice big deep breath in and rapid exhales. Perfect. And just notice how you feel that sort of calmness and warmth as you come back to regular breathing. Good, let's take one more round here. Big deep breath in and forceful exhales. Perfect, and relax. And if you do need to excuse yourself to grab a tissue, that breath is also very wonderful for anybody that's maybe got some sinus congestion today. Good. And now moving on just to a nice easy sun salutation as we continue to warm our body. Release the palms, inhale, stretching the arms up and overhead. And exhale as you soften the knees, swan dive forward, bowing the head. Inhale, lifting partway, flattening your back. And exhale as you reach for the floor, hopping or stepping behind as you lower. Turn the toes under and inhale, peel from the floor for cobra or taking upward facing dog here. Releasing and pressing up and back to downward facing dog. Sitting back into the heels, lifting the sitting bones nice and high, draw your shoulders back. And now shift yourself forward to come into a high plank, and we should be pretty much in the right position in terms of our hands and feet. Maybe just a minor adjustment. As you push through the floor, make sure that you're not sagging into your shoulders and into your hips. We really lift here. Pressing back to downward facing dog. Just feeling a nice stretch here. Looking to your hands, hopping or stepping forward. Exhale, relax your back, lower your head. Inhale, big stretch, swoop all the way up, coming all the way to the top. Drawing your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra. Taking a long step back with your right leg, coming into a lunge position here as we reach our arms up overhead and then bring our hands down to the floor, bringing our back knee down to the ground. And if you like, you can always tuck a cushion underneath your knee. We are going to be here for a couple of postures. As we lift the arms in low lunge, maybe looking up towards the roof as we open up the whole front of the body. And then we're going to extend a little bit farther. If you can windmill back, bringing your right hand towards your heel, maybe coming all the way to your heel in half camel.
but making sure that you're not collapsing through the hips here. So it's not reach my heel at all costs if it means that I need to bend through my hips. I want to open up and back bend into this position. And then windmill forward, lying your chest over your thigh as you start to straighten your front leg, coming into half monkey god pose. Bowing your chin here to take the stretch all the way across the back body, including up into the back of the neck. And if you're not feeling quite a strong enough stretch here, you can slide the back leg a little further back, starting in more of a split. But remember, this should just be gentle. Good, release and come forward. We're gonna just tuck that knee down, coming onto all fours, and then stretch your right leg out behind you. Lift your left arm out in front of you, so you're on alternates here. And we're just gonna tuck in to the center and stretch back out. And tuck into the center, just aiming to keep our back fairly neutral here, and stretch back out. And one more time, tuck in, this time rounding, tucking as far as you can, and stretch back out and hold. Keep holding here, or venture into half bow, reaching around, hand grabbing foot. Trying to keep your body as straight as you can in this position. Deep breath. Perfect, and release. Bring your knees back down to your mat. Tuck back over the toes as you press back to downward facing dog. Looking to your hands, hopping or stepping there. Exhale, relax your back, lower your head. Inhale, big breath, scoop all the way up to the top. Taking one sun salutation here. Exhale, swan dive forward, lower your head. Inhale, lengthen your back as you lift. Reaching for your mat, keep exhaling as you hop or step back. Elbows wrap the sides as you lower. Turning the toes down and inhale, lift for cobra. Release and find downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Soften your knees enough so that you're comfortable here and you can really tip your sitting bones up towards the roof. Look to your hands, hop or step forward. Exhale, relax your back, release your head and neck. And then inhale, come all the way up to the top. Bringing your hands back down to your heart. Stepping back with your left leg here, coming into a nice lunge position, arms reach up. And then bring yourself down to your mat, maybe tucking a cushion underneath your back knee as we lift in low lunge. Finding long, straight arms here. Staying here or start to reach back even further, coming into half camel. And remember, this might be just halfway back. You might not come all the way back here. So just find your comfort zone as you open up the front of your hips, your heart. Breathe deep. And then windmill back up, lying over your thigh this time. Start to straighten the front leg just until you feel a gentle stretch across your hamstring here. And if you're quite flexible through the hamstrings, you might not feel a big stretch there, but as we tuck our chin down, know that you're stretching the fascia from the heel of the foot that's in front all the way up across the leg, the hamstring, the buttocks, through your back and right to the back of your neck. So we're still getting lots of good work there, even if it's not a deep hamstring stretch for your body. Perfect. Come on out of that posture and just tuck that leg back as you come onto all fours, this time stretching out your left leg. Reach your right arm forward and then tuck in, keep the back neutral to start, and then stretch it back out nice and straight and strong. Tucking it back in and stretching it back out, finding balance. And this time tuck in, rounding your back, tuck your chin down, and then stretching all the way out, holding here, or maybe reaching around, coming into half bow. Take a big deep breath here. Good, release. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Looking to your hands, hopping or stepping there. Exhale, release your back, bow your head. Take a big breath as you reverse swan dive all the way to the top. Bring your hands down to your heart in the center. Taking a round of Kapalabhati, or that fire's breath here. Take a nice big deep breath in. And breathe fire out. And just relax.
Take a couple of nice big deep breaths here. Wonderful. Bringing your hands back to your heart. Inhale, swooping high up overhead. And exhale as you cascade over your thighs, coming into a sun salutation. Inhale, lengthen your back lift. And exhale as you reach for the floor. Keep exhaling as you lower. Inhale, big breath as you take a back bend, cobra or upward dog. Release and come to downward facing dog, lifting from knees or from toes, whatever your body is best capable of. As you shift the hips high and back in downward facing dog, root all of your knuckles into the mat. Now shift yourself forward to come into plank and make this a really perfect plank. Push through the floor, lift your sternum so the center of your chest up and away from the floor. Perfect. Press back to downward facing dog. And then looking to your hands, hopping or stepping forward. Exhale, relax your back, lower your head. Inhale, big breath, come all the way up. Bring your hands down to your heart in the center. Take a long step back with your right leg, turning it flat to the mat to come into triangle position. Try to line up your heel with your arch in the front and back foot. As you straighten the legs, lift the kneecaps. Pull the hips back, extend forward, and then tip down to come into Trikonasana or triangle pose. Flattening your body as much as you can with light pressure on the bottom hand. Inhale, use your core, come all the way up as we come into warrior two. Gaze out over the front fingers, bend the front knee. Check to make sure your knee is tracking over your first and second toe here. Perfect. Windmilling all the way down to the floor, stepping back into a high plank again. And then I want you to lift your right arm as you roll over onto your side. Staying here in side plank or taking the top knee up to come into a tree variation. Hold here. Perfect. Rolling back over. Taking your elbows down to the mat as we come into dolphin pose. So very similar to downward dog, except we're on our elbows instead of on our hands. And now lift your right leg up just a little bit. And then see if you can take it over to the side, so somewhere off your mat. Holding it in there, using your core. Perfect. Return the foot. Press back up into your hands. Looking to your hands, hop or step forward. Exhale as you melt. Fold a little bit deeper. Soften the knees. Inhale, big breath, eyes up, chest up, come all the way up. Taking a sun salutation here. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, lengthen your back and lift. Reaching for your mat, stepping back or hopping as you lower in control. And then lifting one vertebrae at a time as you bend back. Exhale, release, pressing back to downward facing dog. Draw your belly button in and up towards your heart. Looking to your hands, hop or step there. Exhale as you fold. And inhale, big breath, come all the way to the top. Draw your hands down. Taking a big step back, this time with your left leg, to come into triangle pose. Find your alignment, heel in line with arch, and then straighten the legs by engaging the thighs. Hips draw to the back as you scooch forward. Bringing your hand wherever it just comfortably reaches here. Really light pressure on the bottom hand as you open up, turning your belly button towards the roof. Inhale, come high to come into warrior two. Bend the front knee, gaze out over your strong front arm. Checking your knee position here, make sure it's properly aligned. And then windmilling all the way down to your mat. Stepping back to plank. And then lifting your left arm to come into side plank. And you can always take a side plank variation, bringing the inside knee down to the ground if you need to make it a little bit easier. Should you be going for that harder option today, lift your top knee to come up. Perfect, roll back over. Pressing back to downward dog and bring your elbows to come down in dolphin pose. Making sure that you're really pushing back here so that your head is not way out over by your hands. It should be closer to your elbows. And then see if you can lift your left leg up a little bit and then take it off the side of your mat. Challenging your core here. Perfect. Replace the foot. Press back up
into your hands. Looking to your hands, hop or step there. Exhale, relax your back, lower your head. Inhale, big swoop, come all the way up. Bring your hands down to your heart. Taking one last round of fire's breath here. Inhale, big breath. And exhale, Kapalabhati. And just relaxing. Taking one last sun salutation of today's practice before we start to slow things down. Inhale, big reach up. And exhale, swan dive forward. Lifting a little. Reaching for your mat, stepping or hopping back as you come through high plank, lower elbows, wrap the ribs. Inhale, shine your heart forward. And exhale, release into downward dog. Breathing deeply. Shift ahead to come into a high plank, really pressing through the floor. Should almost be a little bit of a hill at the top of your shoulder blades, making sure that you're strong, you're engaging all your muscles, and you're not slouching into this position. Press back to downward facing dog. And then take your knees gently down to your mat as you come all the way down onto your stomach. And we're starting our yin portion of our practice in crocodile breath. So just getting comfortable lying on your tummy. If you like to tuck a cushion underneath your head, please feel free to tuck a cushion underneath your head here. Or put your forehead down on your hands, or turn your head to one side. And as you get comfortable here, breathing into your mat. So with each breath, feel your tummy pressing into the floor. And use that as a guidance to try to take your breath a little bit deeper. A little bit stronger. And aim to lengthen each breath just a little bit more as we rest here. Good, and from here, we're gonna transition into pigeon stretch. So pressing into the back toes, lifting to come into downward facing dog. Maybe just pedaling your feet a couple of times, move your hips around. And then lift your right leg, bringing your right knee near your right wrist. And of course, if pigeon is not a accessible stretch for you, then taking a variation, either going onto your back, lying in the back lying figure 4, or just tipping your hips to the side, sliding the back leg up a little bit, coming into 90-90 hip stretch. Okay, so lots of options here. As we settle in to more of a yin-based practice here, making sure that you're just being very gentle, coming just to your very first edge, not pushing your body too hard, just allowing everything to be comfortable here, allowing your body to find some release. And if you're feeling like you can't stay in the position, then that's a sign that you're in a little bit too deep and you want to find a way to make it a little bit gentler. So that could be tucking a cushion underneath your right buttocks, maybe resting your head on a cushion or a block, or your hands. Or maybe you need to back out and come into one of those easier options. So like 90-90 or back lying figure 4. Using this time to really focus on your deep yogic breath. Nice smooth breathing. Aiming to have your inhale match your exhale. Or maybe even taking your exhale just a little bit longer. Good, and let's begin to make our way out of pigeon. Just taking your time, coming back to either downward dog or to resting child's pose, whichever your body just really feels like it wants to go into today. And of course, if there's a different posture that your body's asking for, please go there. Good, and let's make our way into pigeon on the opposite side here. So finding your way through downward dog, or maybe you're just gonna sit and slide into the position as we bring the left knee towards the left wrist. And know that in pigeon, the foot that's down closer to my groin could always walk up towards your right wrist, so long as you don't feel any pain in your knee and it doesn't cause your hip to lift further off the ground. But you want to make sure that you're not forcing yourself into any position here. So listening to your hips. As you get comfortable, allow yourself to rest here. Making sure that you're relaxed through the neck and shoulders. So whether you're just bowing your chin, letting your head hang heavy here, or whether you're more comfortable to rest your head on the floor, your hands, or using a cushion. Taking just a few more deep breaths here. Good, and now let's ease ourselves back from pigeon. Again, just finding your way into a restful place here. Letting your body guide you there. Taking away that urge to rush. Slowly coming up. And if you do have a small cushion, something that you can sit on would be great for this next posture. If you don't, you can roll up the back edge of your yoga mat, or of course you could always do it without, but it definitely is helpful to get us working in the right direction. So sitting on the edge of the cushion, just giving our hips, helping our hips find a little bit more of a forward tilt. We're gonna bring our legs into like a wide diamond. So this is not like bound angle where we bring our feet way in close to our groin. We want to keep them further forward. So kind of roundabouts the place that if you were to fold all the way down, that your head would be coming somewhere near your feet. As your knees just open and relax here, let your body fold and melt into the center. Bowing your chin here. And you can definitely stretch the legs out a little farther if that feels more comfortable. Just making sure that they're not tucked in really nice and tight here is the main key. And you only come as far forward as feels comfortable for you. And for some people, that might be just starting and staying really at the top. So getting that little tip in your hips might be more than enough of a forward fold for you, especially if your hips are really accustomed to being tipped a little bit backward most of the day. And as we rest here, if it starts to feel really easy, then you might on an exhale sink just a little bit deeper into the posture. But making sure that you're not pushing your body too hard, you're not going past that gentle edge. Good, and slowly starting to come back to seated up to the top. You can bring your knees to close. You might feel comfortable here just to stretch back, open up your heart a little bit, find a little back bend. Good, and then you can come off your cushion and you're gonna come all the way down to lie on your back here. And if you like that cushion underneath your head, feel free to go ahead and tuck it underneath your head here. As we move into banana stretch, so starting with your legs bent, you're gonna shift your hips a little bit to the left side of your mat, and then stretch your legs out a little bit to the right side. And bring your shoulders a little bit right as well. Okay, and this really just needs to be a little bit. So just bringing your body into a gentle side bend. If you want to go a little bit deeper, if your body will go there, cross your left ankle over your right, but make sure that your both bum cheeks can still stay on the mat. So if crossing that leg means that you're rolling sideways, that means it's a little bit too much for you today. Let your right arm, palm turn to the roof, relax down by your sides, and then start to bring your left arm somewhere up over your head. Maybe reaching a little bit over towards the right side. Okay, just where it's comfortable. And if your arm is hanging out in space, if it doesn't reach the floor behind you, then take a second to find a pillow or cushion to tuck underneath it. Let your ear drop towards your shoulder as you just rest, opening up the whole side of the body on the left side. yourself slowly start to shift back towards the center of your mat. Just uncrossing, bringing everything back to straight. And then let's move into that banana position going the opposite way. So your hips are going to shift a little bit to the right side this time. And then your feet and your shoulders are going to move a little bit to the left. Either legs just stacked side by side, or maybe crossing the right ankle over. As you reach your right arm over your head. And just finding that place that's comfortable for you. As we open up this big line of fascial tissue. Breathing deep and breathing a little bit deeper towards your right side. As that side is really open. It's welcoming for your breath. Taking just a few more breaths here. With each exhale, allowing your body to rest a little deeper. And then bringing yourself back towards the middle. Just lying comfortably here. Choose to stay lying and take a savasana for as long as your body likes. Or feel free to come back up to seated if this is the end of your practice for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. And do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more great yoga.